Hello everyone, welcome to Team Jaffrey's YouTube channel and the segment that we're calling now Talking with Team, at least for now, until we come up with a better name. So the goal of this is to meet the new businesses, meet the owners, learn a little bit about them, and hopefully to have a little fun. Yeah, it looks like the lights went out, but that's okay, we're back. Now since Team Jaffrey is planning Comic-Con May 4th, as you know, May the 4th be with you, we figured what better place to have our first YouTube channel introduction than Escape Hatch Bookstore right here on Main Street, across from the Common pretty much from where we're going to be having Comic-Con. So all right, let's go inside and meet the owners. Hey everyone, okay, so it's me, Eric from Team Jaffrey, and I am here with Joe and Fred from Escape Hatch Bookstore.
Welcome.
I'm actually got them confused before, so I'm glad I got that right when I did that introduction. So
we answer either way. It works fine. We'll answer no matter which way you get it.
I've been called a lot worse.
Our last name is Bills, so we also get called Bill a lot.
I tell people I get called a lot worse from family, so it's it's okay.
Yeah, my dad was Joe, my brother's Joe. I've been called Joe a billion times.
All right. So guys, why don't you tell us a little bit about the store, like kind of how you got started here, and a little bit about the history and such.
Sure. So we're Escape Hatch Books, obviously, but we do books, comics, and games. Yep. We started out as a comic shop. We didn't actually intend to do games, but once we were here, we initially were going to be a book and comic shop, but the people that came in kept asking about games, and people wanted games, so we started carrying games, and that's been a very good thing for us. Yep. But we have a room in the space in the back with tables so people can play games here. We have a big collection of board games that we actually are starting the process of renting out to people, which has been a popular new thing that we've just added. But we have just passed our 10-year anniversary.
Nice.
And going strong on Main Street in Jaffrey, which is...
You say just passed. We're about
actually
halfway through year 11.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
So, I know, it feels like September wasn't that long ago.
What got you guys kind of started in it? What was the drive to open a comic book store here in town?
I was so sick of working.
Yeah. I can relate to that. I feel you on that.
So the initial thought process was, the reason it was a book and comic shop was that I had owned bookshops before, and that had always been my thing. I was not really a comics person. My brother was a comics person.
Okay.
And we, in the process of trying to figure out how he was going to reset his life, had a conversation that led us to the crazy idea that we would start a book and comic shop, which was surprisingly not all that common for the two things to overlap. I mean, Barnes & Noble has a graphic novel section and things like that, but actual dedicated comic shop with a bookshop component isn't that common.
Yeah, a lot of them have a shelf.
Yeah,
right.
So that's kind of what got us started, and we, being the reckless sort of folks that we are, we had the initial conversation about starting the shop in early summer, and in the fall we were open.
Awesome.
So with no money, with no anything, we just did it.
We started to think about it, realized that everything we were saying said don't do it, so we stopped thinking about it and just did it.
There we go. Hey, that's the way to do it, right? Just jump in the pool. Awesome, awesome. Is there something else you're? Oh, go ahead. It's your time. So I did come up with some kind of hopefully fun questions to ask. So we'll see what you guys can see. I think you might have answered some of it. But so, favorite thing about owning a comic book bookstore?
So much to read.
Yeah, this is what I do every day.
Okay. All right. Do you have a favorite book or comic book character?
I mean, I know I don't have a favorite comic book character, but I have a favorite creator who writes the same sort of books over and over and over again. Okay. So, who's Ed Brubaker? Okay. Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. We have a whole selection of their crime novels up front.
Okay.
But, all right. They do their latest series is like an homage to the pulp novels of the 70s, but done in graphic novel form, and they are spectacular.
All right, what yourself?
Well, you're asking me to pick between my kids now.
Okay.
Luckily, that's pretty easy. There's it shifts all the time. I am nothing if not variable. But as far as comics character. Let's see, you're asking me today. Today's answer is, we'll go John Constantine. I'm a big Constantine fan from way back when.
Okay.
that's a wonderful one because 99% of people go who, uh, and that's when you can pull.
So
out
for
your
the people
nerd
that are saying who,
Yep. Well, you missed a Keanu Reeves movie and a short-lived TV show. So it's not a completely unheard of. I'm not claiming ultimate nerd cred here.
That's okay.
But yeah, a kind of grimy street level magician is the short answer.
All right. Very cool. Okay. So next one we got. Do you have a favorite memory about the store? Either opening it or something that happened.
Let's see. What do we?
I think so when we were opening the shop, because everything.
The night that I spent the next week in the hospital and the store was robbed. No, I don't think that's it.
That did happen. But no, there was a night when we weren't yet open. We were in the process of opening.
Oh, yes.
We spent many late nights here.
Yeah. Yep.
And there was people walking by, and it wasn't entirely clear what we were doing at first in here. Like, we were obviously setting up for some sort of shop.
Yeah.
But I don't know what we had done, but we had done something that suddenly made it clear to people passing by that it was going to be a comic shop.
Okay.
And at one point, there was like this noise outside, and there were a couple guys who had probably been at the bar, it was down the street at the time, dancing in the street, hooting and hollering because there was a comic shop that was opening in Jaffrey. And they both turned out to be, they're still customers,
that's
they're
awesome.
long-time customers.
So they knew from the beginning, they're like,
they
yeah,
were
this is going to be
here
my
from the
place,
beginning.
my
We
people.
Actually, still have a bunch for most of the pre-release crowd. Yeah, we had because we were in here all the time. I mean, the floors, as you can probably tell, are not flat, so the bookcases had to be built specifically for that.
Everything has to be customized
custom
for
made.
So we were in here late many nights. We had one of our long-running customers. I mean, his house had just had a fire, but he was happy because we were open. That's crazy. Like, how much is that? And yeah, a bunch of other people. You never know when because part of setting this up was realizing there wasn't really anything like this to base anything on. There hadn't been a shop like this in quite a while, if ever. So you don't know, okay, does that mean we're about to get run out of town with pitchforks and torches? Are they going to be happy to see us? Is this not going to go over well? But no, before we even opened, there was already
That's awesome.
a group of fans.
Awesome.
And that's been awesome, yeah.
Okay. Funniest thing that ever happened? I guess the robbery probably wasn't bad, so I'm going to go with
there was a very dark humor. So,
All right, so there is a right answer to this. I'm going to see if you guys get this. What's your favorite part about having a business in Jaffrey?
Oh, there's an answer to that.
I mean, obviously, Team Jaffrey.
Okay, that was it. You got it right. That was the answer, working with Team Jaffrey. But anyway, other than that.
So do they teach you that when you work for them? Is that why?
Okay. Yes, in days gone by, I was a Team Jaffrey board member. So
so
I had it
picked
turned
the right
into
person
me.
to do this
Yes.
first. Okay. So yes.
So I honestly, I would say that the coolest thing about this shop, at least in Jaffrey, is that we've built such an amazing community here.
Yeah.
We have our customers are also our friends, and it's a really easy to go to work when you are looking forward to a day of all your friends coming in to see you. That's pretty much what a day here is like. So.
Yeah, on the slow days we sit around and read, and on the busy days we talk to a bunch of our friends. So
that sounds like a pretty good deal. Yeah.
yeah.
I can see why you gave up working for that. So yeah.
yeah, it's way better.
Okay, so I guess I had to ask this because it's the classic.
Yep.
DC or Marvel? Which one is better?
Well, right now, overall, which do you want? Which decade would you like the answer for?
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, it definitely ebbs and
because
flows.
40s and 50s is mostly DC. Let's be honest.
Right.
I mean, Marvel barely existed. In fact,
true.
didn't exist. It was timely then, but
Most everyone knows Marvel now because of the movies and everything.
Yep.
So,
They've had a good run in the last little bit.
All right. Do you have a best movie adaptation of a comic book or a comic book character that you like?
Boy, that's tough. They've actually made that hard,
Yeah, they've been fairly for a long time that it was a tough answer because none of them were good.
Yeah.
Now it's a tough answer because there's actually been quite a few pretty good ones now.
Okay.
Yeah. Batman had it for that little stretch there because when second place is like the Dolph Lundgren Punisher.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a little older, so I'm still old school. Like I go back to my Batman will always be Adam West.
And that movie. We might have to go there if we're honest.
I recently went back and watched the live-action Spider-Man shows from the 1970s,
I'm not gonna lie,
which are so atrocious but so wonderful.
I guess I watched those as a kid. I did like them. Yes.
Yep.
I will say as Batman, I got to say Michael Keaton was kind of been my guy.
Yep.
Well, as what was I 10 when that came out? Something like that. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
It's always right there.
All right. So, actually, we answered that one as who's the best Batman. So you guys answered that for us. So that was good.
You're sneaky that way. I've been peeking at your cards.
My son is a big Spider-Man fan. So who do you think is the best Spider-Man adaptation?
Film adaptation?
Yeah, we'll go film. Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of comic book, I guess, versions. But yeah.
Then I have to remember which one's which. Let's see. We had
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire. We had Tom Holland's the one now.
Now we're just quizzing each other.
Yeah.
And the middle was what the heck's his name?
Andrew Garfield.
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 There we
yeah.
go.
Okay.
There we go. So those are our three if we're going film here.
Yeah.
So who do you want? The guy now is really good.
We're going to each choose one? Yeah.
Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. That's fair. I love Sam Raimi's stuff. I'm an old Evil Dead guy.
Yeah.
But boy, then he made that third one. And
the first Spider-Man movie, the second Tobey Maguire movie, which was like surprisingly good, was just kind of revolutionary because surprisingly good was the last thing you expected from a superhero movie at that point.
Right.
So
that's true.
So that'll always have a little special spot in my heart.
Yeah.
But
when
but
we were
the
still
current,
figuring out that those worked. Yep.
Yeah.
but Tom Holland is doing great.
All right. Let's see. So, do you have a favorite independent comic series? Again, my son, the comic book buff, asked that. So you're like going.
Oh, so many. I mean, so we can tell you about our favorite independent comic series that came out since we've opened the shop because we're looking right at it.
Okay.
Six Gun Gorilla is fantastic.
Okay.
Whatever you think it's about isn't what it's about.
Okay.
Whatever you think is happening next. It was the most fun we had reading a monthly comic series since and that was probably 2014.
Yeah,
that was
not long
back
after
now.
we opened. So.
Okay.
It was the most fun because anytime I've been reading comics for a very long time now. I mean, first started getting them when I was 4 or 5, and I'm no longer 4 or 5. In fact, I'm those numbers put together. I'm a 4 and then a 5. So yeah. So it's been a while. So very rarely can I not pick up on where a story's going and kind of have a general. Yeah, you can still enjoy it, but like, okay, I know.
Yeah, sense of where it's.
Yeah, I know the beats we're hitting. I know where this is going. I know what's happening. That one surprised me every time.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So to make sure we get a shout out for everyone.
It's only only 6 issues long, I believe, but brilliant.
Okay. So lastly, I'll just say, tell us something about the business that people might not know, but you would like them to know.
Well, I think that's where we've got some cool stuff happening right now.
Okay.
As we said, just had our 10-year anniversary not that long ago, and the 10-year anniversary has been sort of an opportunity to sort of rethink our model here and what we're doing, and that's led to things like starting to rent out the board games and trying to bring things to where people are. But the biggest part of that, biggest, most exciting part of that, is that we're spinning off a nonprofit. So Escape Hatch Books will be joined by the Escape Hatch Foundation, and that's going to be focused on comics in the classroom kind of programs, promoting literacy for kids, working perhaps with other community organizations for literacy programs for people of all ages, and establishing with the kind assistance of the Jaffrey Library and some other library cheerleaders is not the right way of saying it because they're actually participating. They're not on the sidelines, but supporters establishing a first of its kind comics lending library.
Okay.
Which is still in its formative stages, but we're very excited about it.
Okay. Now the nonprofit, is that something that, like, if people wanted to donate to, they could, or how would that work?
As of the very near future, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
we're
stay tuned
we're in
for
the process of
potential-
getting official, but
Okay.
but yes,
Okay. So stay tuned for that, and make sure you come in and check that out and
absolutely.
donate. All right. That being said, is there anything else that you guys want to add, or anything else that you guys want to say? This is your time to kind of
Read
say whatever you
comics.
want. Read comics. All right.
And books.
And books.
Yes.
And the rules before you play the game, otherwise these make no sense.
That's right. All right. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it so much for you guys being our first guinea pig.
Yeah,
Hopefully this came out okay. And we'll see. And hopefully look forward to more Team Jaffrey videos. As we say, we're calling it Talking with Team for now until someone comes up with a better name. So maybe we'll see something in the comments. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Thank you.